Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Apollonia Cross, and today we are going to be talking about finding peace versus creating peace. And one of the reasons I am super excited about this topic is the fact it dives into with the holiday season. We're all in this phase of getting ready for parties, getting ready to decorate our house if you haven't already. But as we're going into this, we've touched on the topic of wanting to make sure that we're not trying to operate in so much chaos and busyness this year, as well as we're still working towards achieving all of our goals. But with bringing up this topic of finding peace versus creating peace, I hope this is going to help you kind of shift your mind, as well as give you a broader perspective in understanding how you want to actually operate and how you're seeing some of these things. So, think this is going to be a fun topic. I really hope you guys enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. If this is your first time tuning with me, welcome. My name is Apollonia Cross, and I'm a lifestyle and wellness coach, and I am passionate about helping mompreneurs create a self-care plan that is in alignment with their goals, values, as well as family lifestyle, so that way they can learn how to live more authentically and happy in their lives. But as we are hopping on and going on with this video, make sure you are down in the comments and letting me know where you're at in the world so that we can connect with you and talk with you as we're going on. If you have any questions, then you can also post those also in the comments below. And if you're catching this on the replay, no worries, just post #replay in the comments so that way I can catch you guys later if you have any questions or anything. I always make sure I do my best to respond to you guys. And yeah, so let's get into it. As I was sitting here, I had a whole series that I was originally thinking about talking to you guys, and then I just felt like peace came in, and I thought of finding peace versus creating peace. And I wanted to touch on this topic because as we are preparing for the holidays and making all the plans and all of those types of things right now, we can get very, very focused on trying to do so much instead of just enjoy being, right? And so, hi, Nina. Hi, Malik. Welcome. But yeah, so in this, neither are wrong. If we're talking about finding peace instead of creating peace, again, this is not necessarily to say which one is to do better, but to give you some perspective as you're going on and planning out your schedule and operating with kids stuff and your business and all of these things. If you're operating from a busy state, you can be like, oh my gosh, I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. And you can be getting overwhelmed. You're constantly trying to search. When you are operating out of the seek, it's because you're operating out of lack. It's like, I don't know this, so I'm trying to look for it. I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that, blah, 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 blah. Again, and there's nothing wrong with it depending on where your mindset is, right? Seek and you will find. So again, when we're talking about finding peace, if you're trying to find peace, there's nothing wrong with that because you're probably feeling overwhelmed. You've got a lot going on. You're trying to just get a break. That's okay if you want to be able to try to look for things that are going to bring you more peace in your day, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you bring it back and say, okay, right, this is how we learn how to ditch the overwhelm and bring it back and to say, all right, I need a moment right now. How can I create peace, right? When you're finding, right? If you are in a finding mode, your mindset is on looking, searching, doing, going, right? But if you pull it back and you bring your mindset back to, I'm focusing on creating peace, right? Instead of looking outside of yourself for something to bring your peace, you bring and you retain your power, your authenticity, your joy in everything. And then from that sense of peace and calm, now you're able to create that peace that you were looking for. It all starts from within and then flows without. And I think a lot of the times, especially when we're so caught up in the busy, we forget that sometimes what you're really looking for is not out there. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing different things that make you happy and are more joyful, doing the activities like I have the joy and gratitude challenge that we're going to be starting on December 1st. So that is an actual activity that I'm going to do to help me intentionally, though, create more peace so I can move with intention and purpose throughout my day. But again, you start with what is it that I need, right? And you start to look for it so that I can create, right? Or if also from the opposite perspective, what is it that I want to create? What is it that I am actually looking for that where I don't feel like I have any peace, right? What do I need to do so that I can create that? When you're focused on creating something, you're focused on actually being able to, I'm trying to best explain this, but you're not operating from a place of lack. You're operating from a place of desire, right? And God gives you the desires of your heart. And so if you're saying, I really want to be able to be more relaxed, right? As I'm more relaxed, or I can do this and that, it brings me peace, it brings me joy. Again, you're operating from the heart posture of being able to create the environment that you want, create the experiences that you want, create the dream and build the dream, right? All of those things, operating from that creative space is going to be more of what brings you peace instead of trying to look for the peace outside of yourself, right? And so I wanted to just kind of touch on that a little bit and just try to give you guys a little bit of perspective on that, because you can find things that bring you peace. Nothing wrong with that, right? But it will not sustain you. And if you're wanting to create a healthy and sustainable lifestyle, you first have to find and create that peace within yourself by understanding what is it that actually truly brings me joy. How can I pull back and remind myself that, hold on, I don't have to look out here or there or anywhere. I can create this. And that is going to be what actually brings you the most peace, because now you are operating in alignment with what sets your soul on fire, instead of constantly trying to ram your head and trying to search, like, I need this, I need that, I can't this, that's that. We go through those phases, right? We absolutely do go through those phases of life. But then that's when it's like, okay, let's bring this back a little bit, right? Say, all right, where is it that I'm feeling and not feeling like I'm operating in alignment anymore? This is why I'm not able to find peace, right? Things within myself are feeling chaotic. And because of that, I'm unintentionally creating the chaos outside of myself. This is why that's all I'm seeing. Everything around me, it's out of order, it's chaotic. But when we pull it back and be like, all right, remember, God did not give me the spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. So when I am able to pull that back, get myself out of the chaos, out of the overwhelm, out of the stress, and remind myself, hold on, I get to choose what I want to create in my daily life, in my daily choices, in my family, in my business. And when I'm operating from that space, I am enjoying this process of creating the life that I want, creating the family dynamic that I want, creating the type of person that I want to embody. So I am walking in alignment with my calling and my purpose. And as I am creating that and I'm having and experiencing more joy within myself, everything else is going to start operating in that. And again, you don't have to try to push. You don't have to plan as much. You do set, like I've talked last week's, different rhythms and routines. Absolutely. But again, you get to create this space of peace within yourself, and then everything else around you has no choice but to start operating from that. And so, yeah, you guys, I hope that gave you some perspective and also gave you a little bit of encouragement, as we are literally like a week out of Thanksgiving. Wait, a week too? We've got some time before Thanksgiving starts, but I'm sure, I don't know about you guys, with me, I've got a lot of, I've got parent-teacher conferences this week for myself. I've also got a lot of, planning and all of the things with the holidays and starting to make the list for what people want for Christmas, placing those orders, groceries, all of the things never stop, right? However, it does feel good to finally say, hey, pull things back, and just say, I get to choose how I operate, and I get to create that from within myself and then work in alignment with that. And it's a joy to see how things change instead of me constantly look for this, look for that. And so, yeah, I hope you guys took some good nuggets from this video. And if you did, I would love to, love to hear from you guys and know exactly what was your biggest takeaway and what are you going to do? Are you choosing to continue to search for peace, or are you going to focus on creating peace, more peaceful moments in this holiday season and just generally in life? But either way, let me know in the comments so that I can connect with you guys. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.